Morning from beautiful Gibbons, Alberta. Today we're going to be taking a look at a 1-year-old skylight that's been leaking ever since they had their roof done. This customer's quite upset. They had this roof done. It was about $16,000 for a really nice high quality GAF timberline roof. Unfortunately, whenever the installers put this together, they didn't have much of a clue as to what they were doing, especially when it comes to the skylights. It's just a few things from the roofing install here. Let's take a look at what we got here. I don't know if you can notice, but all the way along this top row of shingles, they have the magic shingles where they're reappearing and disappearing. Quite nice in that regard there. We kind of did the same thing over here. Got a disappearing row of shingles, but these things aren't really going to cause too many problems. They're just cosmetic and just really poor workmanship. What is causing problems, however, is the way that these guys have installed the skylights. When they pulled this apart, redid this roof, they didn't know what to do with the skylights, so they just kind of slapped it back together and then let it leak. The customer called and complained. They came back and did this lovely caulking job, and this is what you end up with. Nice big bubble gum, nice blue bubble gum all over your shiny roof. Absolute atrocious. They've got it all the way up through here. They did the same thing on this other skylight all the way over on the other side here. So today we're going to take these apart and do them properly, get it all cleaned up, see if we can get rid of this bubblegum effect. This is quite unfortunate. It's a fairly well-known contractor all over Facebook. You'll see this person bragging about how good they are. This is why this customer chose them in the first place, but yet here we are. It's a nice caulking job they did on the smaller skylight, the high side. It's all already pulling away. Wonder how much good that's doing, save you some water getting in there. Wonder why that didn't work. So a large part of the reason I really advocate against just putting a whole bunch of caulking on something, especially if you don't know why you're putting the caulking there, you're just hoping, is not only does it look terrible, it's all pulling away as you can see here, but shingles are made for water to come up to the surface. Water is supposed to run out from underneath the shingles above them. That's just part of it. It's a two-layer system, a two-ply system. When you take and you put all of this caulking around here, like what they've gotten on this skylight, you can see what ends up happening. Water gets in through the top. It has nowhere to come out because it's caulked so heavily. It gets trapped all the way up in the system, and that's what you're seeing here. Look at all this staining caught up because this water had nowhere to get out. It's just putting caulking on for the sake of putting it on is such a terrible idea. Not only does it look terrible, it's hard to get apart. It just is it's a Mickey Mouse idea at best. So we're kind of getting this thing ready to pop out here shortly. As you can see, this is what was an old self-flashing skylight. It's pretty common in modular homes. Out in Eastern Canada, we see these quite a bit too. What ended up happening whenever they took this roof apart is they didn't know how to put this back together. And rather than trying to flash it in, they just kind of dropped it on there and then hoped that the caulking would do the trick, which obviously it didn't. So we're going to take and convert this to a curb-mounted skylight, which will give a lot more height and also be able to put a proper flashing kit in here. I'll get you some pictures and videos of that shortly. And there we have it, skylights put back together. Curb mounted, nice and clean, flashing kit so you don't have any open holes in the corners. It's frustrating trying to put them back together when the roof has been so wobbly to begin with, but you got to go off of what's there unless you're going to redo half the whole roof. Disappearing and reappearing rows, but all the same, that's how you go about fixing those problems up. Anyways, thanks for watching.